Hare Krishna. Can you hear my voice? Am I audible? Okay, let's start. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much for joining today's session. We have been discussing from this. We did complete the seventh chapter of the fifth canto yesterday. So today we will, Krishna willing, I don't know if we will start the eighth chapter because I did promise that because we had completed a chapter and there were unanswered questions yesterday. So immediately after I complete today's recap, I had promised that we will take some questions and discussions which were left over from yesterday or anything from that from the previous chapter. We will take it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly summarize or recap what we have seen in this chapter, and then we will open up for some leftover questions from yesterday and day before. And then, if time permits, we will start with the eighth chapter. So, those of you who have questions, you can already raise your hands. Okay. You can already raise your hands or type your questions in the chat box, whatever works for you. And then, as soon as the recap is completed, we can take it. Okay. So here talking about Bharat Maharaj, we saw that just as Rishabha was the Lord, his son Bharata was a great devotee of the Lord. When he was entrusted by Rishabha to protect the earth, he engaged in ruling and he married the daughter of Vishwarup named Panchajani. And he begot 5 sons: Sumati, Rashtrabrita, Sudarshana, Avarana, and Dhumraketu in Panchajani. And that place, which was known as Ajanaba Varsha till then, became known as Bharata Varsha after Bharat Maharaj. And Maharaj Bharat, who was a learned king, like his father and grandfather, engaged his own duties. He engaged in his own duties. Own duties means Varnashrama duties. And engaged the citizens in their duties with great affection. So, and then we saw he worshipped the Lord also. He did not just worship, he did not just perform his Varnashrama duties, but he worshipped the Supreme Lord also, who is the form of sacrifice with and without offering animals, through large and small sacrifices named Agnihotra, Darshapaurnamasa, Chaturmasya, and so on. And according to the rules involving the 4 kinds of frees, which are accepted with faith by the karmis, which means he perfectly engaged in the actions of Varnashrama according to the Dharma Shastras in order to set the right example for those who had Karmanishta, which is, the maximum number of people. So, okay. And then we saw that this was the important verse where we saw that in the performance of various sacrifices, how did he perform his sacrifice? What was his disposition, mental state while performing these sacrifices, which fall within the category of karma, actually, that is described here. So here it says that in the performance of various sacrifices, with the execution of all the parts, Bharata thought of the results of these sacrifices as an offering to Supreme Brahman. He did not have any interest in the results of them because he understood that the results come only directly through Krishna. For him, not that it is coming through these sacrifices. Again, as we discussed yesterday, devotees do not think that these sacrifices are. So, okay, this is a very important point. Let us touch this point. What is devotees' disposition towards these sacrifices which fall within the category of karma? Okay. The right understanding is that Do devotees feel that these dharma shastras are correct and these karma activities of karma work? Yes, 100% devotees should believe that. Okay. Should devotees do it? Not necessarily, unless there is a pressing uh, um, lokasangraha consideration. Hmm. So uh, mm, if these activities work, does it work for devotees? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. And ideally, devotees should not be doing them for getting any of those results. Okay. So devotees should understand that these dharma shastras are there for people who have karma nishta, and definitely they do work. But that is not a sufficient understanding for the devotees. The most important understanding in that also is that actually, uh, even in those practices of karma, it is only the element of bhakti that is actually giving the result of those sacrifices. This understanding is very foundational to understand the karma yoga practices and also to nourish one's own bhakti. Okay, this is very important. Yes, all the elements of karma and everything is there, but ultimately, tapasvino, danapara, yashasvino, manasvino, mantravida, sumangala, kshemam na vindanti vinaya darpanam tasmai subhadra shravase namo namaha. Hmm. It is only by the element of bhakti that karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga is actually perfected. Hmm. That is why Bhagavatam says, Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Because bhakti is the most potent, not the most potent, bhakti is the only potent process. Karma, jnana, etc. are just to engage the psychological disposition of the practitioner. This understanding is very important. Hmm. The ultimate result of that action is coming only through the result of that action is coming only through the practice of the element of bhakti in those practices. Actually, actually, in terms of result, the practice of the elements of karma, jnana, and yoga are redundant. They are actually redundant. There is no need. But it is needed because the psychological disposition of that person is like that. He thinks that it is needed. Therefore, it is there. Otherwise, it is not needed. Otherwise, the same result can be achieved by practice of bhakti alone without any elements of karma. That is what that verse says. Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradihi. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So if by tivra bhakti means what? Jnana karmadi anavrita bhakti. One may have other abhilashas, but if one fulfills those abhilashas through jnana karmadi anavrita bhakti, that is very good. So the ideal standard, hmm, the ideal standard is that one should not have any abhilashas. Hmm. The ideal standard is that one should not have any abhilashas and one should practice jnana karmadi anavrita bhakti. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. That is the ideal standard. But someone may not have that much sukriti for that. The second best is, okay, I may have other abhilashas. I want some mukti or I want some material enjoyment. Fine. What is the means of attaining it? He says, the second best is Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Ejeta Purusham Param. At least get those desires fulfilled by performing Jnana Karmadi Anavrita Bhakti, which means only Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam, without mixing it with Karma Jnana Yoga. This is the second best. Okay. If you may not have, you may not be free from, you may not be free from the uh, from the desires for other abhilashas, that may be there. But at least do you have full faith in the process of bhakti as a means to attain your goals? If you have that, then there is no need for karma jnana yoga, because karma jnana yoga is redundant. They cannot give any result actually. Okay. I mean, they cannot give any result means, but that does not mean they have no need. In terms of giving result, they are redundant. But in terms of giving engagement according to the psychological makeup of the sadhaka, those are needed. So if they don't have sufficient sukriti to believe that bhakti is sufficient, then to engage them, it is needed. Then to engage them, it is needed. Just like, for example, if you see the um, mm, the very small baby, sometimes when they mm, uh, when they are still drinking milk from their mother, when they are still drinking milk from their mother, sometimes um, you know the mother puts a rubber nipple in the mouth of the baby. The mother puts a rubber nipple in the mouth of the baby. Okay, that rubber nipple cannot give uh, it cannot give milk. Okay, it cannot give milk and satisfy the hunger of the child, but it can keep the child quiet. The child thinks that something worthwhile is there in its mouth. For that purpose, the rubber nipple is needed. Okay, but it is actually the mother's breast which can actually give that milk. Okay, but that does not mean that the rubber nipple has no utility at all. But it definitely has a utility to keep the child quiet. To keep the mouth of the child engaged, the rubber nipple is needed. But the rubber nipple cannot give milk. In the same way, karma, jnana, yoga, it's not that they have no utility. They have no utility in terms of giving the results of those activities. But this karma, jnana, ashtanga yoga can keep the sadhaka engaged and think that I am actually fruitfully engaged. But if the sadhaka is intelligent enough means if he has sufficient sukriti, then he will understand that the real benefit of that bhakti, the real um, the result, the real result of my sadhana or my aspiration is coming only from Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. So therefore, why don't I completely perform bhakti only? In that mode, if that understanding is there, then that person, for fulfilling his desire for a material benediction or liberation, he will perform only bhakti. Because he understands uh, that karma jnana yoga is redundant. The child has grown up. He understands that the rubber nipple is not needed for me. Okay, I don't need the rubber. I don't need the rubber nipple because it is anyways only keeping my mouth engaged, uh, but it is not filling my stomach. He knows that. But if someone is even more uh, advanced and if he has even more sukriti, then he understands that actually when when I am getting Krishna, when Krishna is willing to give himself, why should I aspire for any material benediction or impersonal relationship which is devoid of a relationship with Krishna? Okay, so like that. So devotees should not have extreme understandings. They should not think that the process of karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga is useless for anyone. Just like a person does not think that the mother's breast is sufficient, but the rubber nipple has no utility at all. Okay. No, the rubber nipple definitely has a utility to keep the child's mouth engaged. Okay. But one should understand that the rubber nipple, one should not, the other extreme understanding is, oh, the child's stomach is getting filled by by that rubber nipple. Like that, he should not think. Okay. So definitely a devotee thinks that the Karma Shastras, the Dharma Shastras, the Jnana Shastras, and the Yoga Shastras definitely have utility. Those activities do have utility, but they do not have, they have utility in just giving engagement to the sadhaka according to his current psychophysical nature, but it does not have any ability in giving the fruits of that activity. That fruit of that activity comes only from bhakti. That understanding should be very clear in the sadhaka. This is very important. This is very important. Tapasvino danapara yashasvino manasvino mantravida sumangala క్షేమం న విందంతి వినాయ దర్పణం తస్మై సుభద్రశ్రవసే నమో నమః. Like that. So here, in performance of various sacrifices with execution of all parts, Bharata thought of the astonishing results of the sacrifices as an offering to the Supreme Brahman, the supreme object of worship, Vasudev. And he also thought that this Vasudev is the performer of all actions. He is the recipient of all sacrifices. Okay. And even though there were oblations offered in the sacrificial fire by chanting the names of the various devatas, Indraya Swaha, Varunaya Swaha, he understood that ultimately the beneficiary of that sacrifice is Krishna or Vasudeva, because he is the lord of all the devatas. And having already destroyed all impressions of karma by his skillful actions, he just employed the Advaryu priest to perform the sacrifices while he himself was engaged in Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. Because he did not have faith. He did not have faith means he did not have faith that that he had to perform these elements of karma as a part of his own sadhana. He did not have faith in that. But he did understand that since many of his citizens had karma nishta, therefore to set the right example for them, he had to do it. That faith he had, as he had faith in karma as a loka sangraha activity, but he didn't have faith in that same karma as his own sadhana. That faith he did not have. Okay. So Bharata, the sponsor of the sacrifices, meditated on the devatas, the recipients of the sacrifices, the limbs of the Lord. So we discussed about this also yesterday, that meditating on the limbs of the Lord is not, it's not a direct worship of meditating on the Lord by meditating on the devatas as the various limbs of the Lord is not proper. It is not actually proper form of worship. This Bahuda Vishwato Mukam, Pradatvena Bahuda. This is a kind of Jnana Yagya. It's an indirect form of worship, which comes within the category of a type of Jnana. It is not a type of Shuddha Bhaktas do not meditate like this. This is not. This is an approved process, but this is not approved for the practicing pure devotees. But when practicing pure devotees for loka sangraha purposes may have to engage in these kind of sacrifices where the oblations are offered to the demigods also, like we saw yesterday, making the best use of the bad bargain. Rather than meditating on those demigods, utilize that opportunity to meditate on the Supreme Lord also. Like Indra is while Indraya Swaha meditate on the hands of the Lord, Varunaya Swaha meditate on the tongue of the Lord, Suryaya Swaha meditate on the eyes of the Lord, like that. Even though this is not, even though for pure devotees, there is direct meditation on the Sachidananda Vigraha form of the Supreme Lord. This form of a meditation is not recommended for devotees. This is Jnana Yagyena Chapyanye Yajanto Mam Upasate Ekatvena Prutatvena Bahuda Vishwato Mukam. This is that kind of a worship. This is not the kind of worship that is recommended for devotees. Okay. Then, okay. So, the Lord has said, Tavat Karmani Kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkata shravanada va shraddha yavan na jayate. He said that karma needs to be, the elements of karma needs to be performed only. Oh, someone says, oh, thank you. Sandeep Prabhu says, incidentally, that rubber nipple is aptly called as a pacifier because it keeps the baby pacified. Beautiful. Yeah, it keeps the baby pacified. Okay, it does not fill the stomach of the baby, but it keeps the baby pacified. In the same way, the limbs of karma jnana yoga are that kind of pacifiers. It keeps the sadhaka pacified, thinking that I am doing something very much worthwhile. While the really worthwhile thing that he is doing is that small element of bhakti that he is doing in his practice. Okay, that is the only worthwhile thing that he is doing. But all those other activities of karma jnana yoga, not that they don't have any utility, they have that utility that the rubber pacifier has in the mouth of the baby. Okay, that is the teaching of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. Okay. So, tavat karmani kurvita na nirvidyeta yavata matkata shravanadavva shraddha yavanna jayate. Huh? So, only till one develops faith in bhakti, till then one should practice karma. After that, one should not practice karma. Or one need not practice karma unless there is some lokasangraha considerations. So when he performed various sacrifices in which all the elements were executed, there was an astonishing result called as dharma. He thought of these results as an offering to the Supreme Lord. He thought, I do not have any desire for the results of this sacrifice. It is for the pleasure of Vasudev, which means because Vasudev has appointed me as the king, uh, and as a king, one of my duties is to set the right example for people who may not have faith in pure devotional service. So for them, I am doing so. This is an offering for Vasudev. I don't want any result of this sacrifice. It is offered to Vasudev. It is not mine. But the Mimamsakas, they say the results of the sacrifice is for the performer if he desires the fruit of that sacrifice, and if it is for the devatas, if it was directed predominantly to the devatas. But because Bharat Maharaj had no material desires, then ideally the result should go to the devatas. Okay, they may say like that. Why then did Bharat Maharaj think of offering the results only to Vasudev, and why not to Surya, Chandra, Indra, etc.? This question arises. So in response to this, um, he thought of Vasudev, the enjoyer of the results. Why? Because he was the controller of all the devatas. So he was the controller of all the devatas. Then they present another Purvapaksha argument. Another Purvapaksha argument. Okay, Bharata may not be the enjoyer, but how can he avoid being even the performer of the sacrifice? This question arises. In response, it is explained, no, Vasudeva is also the performer since he is the only independent doer, inspiring all others to action as the Antaryami of all beings. He is the only independent doer. There is no other independent doer. So he says that if we do not accept this principle, the priest would be called as the performer. The sponsor is not the performer. Okay. So if we do not accept this principle, then the actual performer will be the priest, because he is the one who is actually doing it. Okay. This is to be understood from Vishnu Sahasranam. In Vishnu Sahasranam, amongst the 1,000 names of Vishnu, the 3 names that are there are Yajna Bhug, Yajna Krid, and Yajna. Yajna Bhug means one who is the enjoyer of the sacrifice. That is Vishnu. Yajna Krid means the performer of the sacrifice is also Vishnu. And Yajna, and the sacrifice itself is also Vishnu. Okay. Okay. So though the Lord is independent, the Jiva thinks that he is the performer out of ignorance and becomes bound up. Ahankara vimodatma kartaham iti manyate. And by his skillful thinking, Bharata destroyed the contamination of impressions arising from action. This is clarified. It should be understood that though the devotee who is free of identity as the doer and has renounced all the results of actions, through his representatives such as the Advaryu priest, he is not the doer since he does not have faith in those actions. Ashraddaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asaditi uchyate partha nachatat pretyanoiha. We did discuss what is the meaning of having no faith. Huh? It is said that devotees such as Ambarish Maharaj, absorbed in performing pure bhakti all day long, conducted sacrifices handed down by the tradition from father and grandfather through representatives, proxies, Advaryu priests. Then Vishal Vishwanath Thakur says, it is seen at the present time as well that householder devotees, well established in the Western states, perform the karmas such as marriage or receiving the sacred thread through a representative since they fear contamination with local customs and with the total lack of varna and dharma. The results do not accrue to the impure person in that verse, Tavat Karmani Kurvita, because the Atmanepada form of the verb is in order. Thus, the Shuddha Sattva devotee certainly has no fault in doing actions through a representative. Yes, there is no fault in performing those actions through a representative. And in the definition of Shuddha Bhakti, apart from indicating that it should be Anyabhilashita Shunyam, it also says that it should be Jnana Karmadyanavritam. So, some people explain that this means that Bhakti remains pure even though one engages in karma by employing an agent to perform the sacrifice. If only an agent is engaged to perform the sacrifice, that means that indicates the lack of faith in the performer. Because anything you depute to someone else, it means you don't value it. Generally. Or you value it less. Otherwise, you would do it yourself. Because bhakti is not covered by karma if one remains constantly engaged in hearing and other acts of bhakti. Okay. So now the next Purva Paksha argument is that we cannot attribute fault of doing karmas to Bharata if he acts thus. But how can one say that his bhakti is pure if there is worship of many devatas in the sacrifice? And this is also been addressed. Bharata, the sponsor of the sacrifice, meditated on the devatas, the receiver of the offerings, as the limbs of the Lord. When the priest said Indraya Swaha, he thought, this is worship of the arm of my Lord. When the priest said Suryaya Swaha, he thought, this is the worship of the eye of my Lord. Worshipping each devata independently would destroy the ananya or exclusive aspect of bhakti, but worshipping them as the limbs of the Lord does not destroy it. Like that. Very beautiful, very deep purport. Okay. So then Shukadeva Goswami continued. He said, performing karmas purified by his intentions, the bhakti of Bharata filled with Shuddha Sattva daily increased. Otherwise, if it was Jnana Karmadi Avrita Bhakti, if it was bhakti which was affected by Jnana and Karma, then his bhakti would not increase. Okay, but here it says that his bhakti increased. Okay. He directed his bhakti to the Lord situated in the heart, to the Brahman, to Bhagavan Vasudeva, who is also seen the Lord of Vaikunta, seen as the Lord of Vaikunta, like that. After ruling for 110 crore years and not ascertaining whether his karmas of his life were completed or not, out of his humility, he was thinking, oh, maybe my karma is not gone, maybe like that he thought, and he divided his wealth into amongst his sons, and he went to Pulaha Ashram. He went to a hermitage in Pulaha Ashram. There the Lord is visible even now in the form desired by the devotee out of affection for his followers. In that place, the Gandaki river, which purifies the hermitages, flows on both sides. And there, Bharata alone performed worship of the Lord in the garden of the hermitage at Pulaha, using water, tulasi, various flowers and leaves, etc. And in this way, he attained great bliss. In a simple way, he was worshipping the Supreme Lord. he became lax in his duties. Duties here refers to the Varnashrama duties. Why? Because his heart melted because of the ever increasing intense attraction for the Lord through his constant service. So this happened because at some point when you know, that's why there are three types of devotees as explained. Okay. The Sanishta, Parinishtita, and Nirapeksha devotees. The Sanishta devotees are mixed devotees. They have faith in karma also and bhakti also. So they perform some limbs of karma, some limbs of bhakti. They're mixed devotees. The Parinishtita devotees are those who are sadhakas who may who perform bhakti and sometimes they may perform limbs of karma for lokasangraha purposes. For lokasangraha, if there is a lokasangraha purpose, they may do the elements of karma also, and that does not affect their faith. Okay, because they are doing it only for the lokasangraha purpose and no other purpose. Now, the third category are the nirapeksha devotees. The nirapeksha devotees are those who are pure devotees, who have pure faith in bhakti, but they may have reached, they may have either they don't have any loka sangra purpose, or even if they may have loka sangra purpose, there they have reached such intense states of ecstasy towards performing pure devotional activities that they cannot bother to think about the loka sangraha responsibilities. Okay, they are the nirapeksha devotees. So Bharat Maharaj, who was a perfect pure devotee, even though he was, for the purpose of, he was acting as an Nirapeksha devotee, as a Parinishtita devotee, performing the limbs of Varnashrama also to set the right example. At some point, his advancement became to such a level that he became a Nirapeksha, you know, or he acted as a Nirapeksha, where, he could not think about the Loka Sangraha considerations. So he became lax in his duties and he started experiencing very ecstatic symptoms, the satvika bhavas and all that. Tears started flowing from his eyes, hair started standing on end, his voice choked up, and his intelligence was immersed in the lake of his heart, filled with the highest bliss through bhakti yoga by intense meditation on the lotus feet of the Lord who bestows prema. So, with a vow to worship the Lord, his body shining with deer skin, his brown matted hair wet from his daily bath, hmm, he worshipped the golden Lord with a mantra dedicated to Vishnu. Uh, he chanted this mantra, and that mantra is given. So, this is where we ended our discussion yesterday. And as I promised, we decided that before we start the eighth chapter, we will take leftover questions from yesterday and, you know, and any other questions from this chapter we will take right now. Okay, there are two hands up. Yes, Shiv Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, then our prompts Prabhu.
Dandat Prabhu.
So Prabhu, two or three questions Prabhu connected to each other. A little bit we discussed in the past Prabhu, but still I'm not very clear. And last time we could not get a clear insight, so I'm just bringing it up again.
Mhm,
Now speaking of this faith Prabhu for the sadhakas, practicing
mhm,
devotees.
mhm.
We talked about the happiness and distress in sadhaka's life is given by Krishna. That's our understanding, and it's not coming from our karma. And
Yeah,
we
and
also
it can also be due to, it is given by Krishna, and it can also be due to our offenses.
offenses. Okay, Prabhu. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay, Prabhu. And um, Mm, we also talked about Prabhu. The say when we fall sick,
Mhm.
we although we know that there is Krishna's hand in it, it's not that we have to tolerate it. We try to address it, circumvent it. If it's coming in the way of the sadhana itself, right, Prabhu? We talked about it. We go
Yeah,
to a doctor and
we try to respond to it in a Krishna conscious way.
say, yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu. So on that front, so I just wanted to know, Prabhu, I'm bringing it up again. That's for the physical body. Now, when there is an distress, and
Mhm.
that kind of comes in the way of sadhana, and I'm not able to focus it.
Mhm.
And um, if for a karmi, if he pursues a demigod worship to kind
Mhm.
of fix that, address that problem, like
Mhm.
that, we don't
Mhm.
take that route, right, Prabhu? That's what we discussed earlier. So I just wanted
Yeah.
to know, how different is that, approaching a demigod to fix up an issue that comes in the way of sadhana, against this example of going and seeing a doctor to kind of fix the ailment of a physical body, Prabhu.
Yeah. I think we have discussed this many times in our
Mm,
discussions.
mm,
There are 5 causes of success of a particular activity, 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
mm,
Adhishtanam tatakarta karanam cha pratagvida vividascha pratak cheshta daivam chaivatra panchamam.
mm,
Okay. The 5 causes of 5 causes of success of a particular activity.
mm,
Okay. So first is adhishtanam. Adhishtanam means the place where the uh, that activity is performed. Like we say, it will have an impact. Dharma
mm,
kshetre, kurukshetre, samaveta, yuyutsava.
mm,
Okay. The place, it has an
mm,
effect. And adhishtanam also means the body, the grass body.
mm,
So in order to have success of a particular activity,
mm,
a proper place and a proper well-endowed grass body is needed,
mm,
right?
mm,
Then second is karta. Karta means, here it means the karta bhav.
mm,
Okay. One
mm,
should identify. Okay.
mm,
Uh, One may be physically well endowed,
mm,
but he should also think that I am a wrestler.
mm,
If he thinks I am a wrestler, then he will engage in wrestling. But
mm,
otherwise, or he will learn wrestling and try to wrestle. But if he
mm,
does not think, if he does not have that self-identification,
mm,
like I am a teacher, I am a wrestler, I am a boxer, whatever. So
mm,
then there would not be endeavor in that direction. Okay.
mm, mm,
So adhishtanam tata karta karanam. So not only is the gross body important, but the subtle senses must also be well endowed.
mm,
Hmm. The
mm,
subtle senses.
mm,
Okay. These three. Okay.
mm,
Now the last two are very important.
mm,
Huh. Karanam cha pratak vividasta pratak cheshta.
mm,
Cheshta means endeavor. That is one explanation. Okay.
mm,
Cheshta sometimes is translated as the life airs also.
mm,
But
mm,
cheshta means endeavor.
mm,
And uh, vividashta pratak cheshta daivam. Daivam means karma.
mm,
Okay. So
mm,
these last two are very important.
mm,
One is cheshta, another is karma. Okay.
mm, mm,
So going to a doctor
mm,
is addressing the cheshta aspect of it.
mm,
Okay.
mm,
So that is why I gave the example of an Ayurvedic in if you go to Ayurvedic practitioners,
mm,
uh, traditional Ayurvedic practitioners, what they will do is that they will uh, they will check your bodily issues,
mm,
and they will prescribe medicines, and
mm,
if the medicines don't work, then they will re-diagnose it and see if the diagnosis is right. If the diagnosis is right, then they will prescribe second different course of medicine. If that also does not work, they will prescribe a third course of medicine. If that also does not work, then they will say, bring your birth chart.
mm,
Okay, bring
mm,
your birth chart. And then they will check.
mm,
And if the birth chart says that this particular problem is completely designated as unsolvable because of the karmic roadblocks, then
mm,
they will say, tolerate it.
mm,
Tolerate it. There is no cure for this because this is karmically destined that you have to endeavor. So
mm,
what they do is whatever is within the scope of cheshta, the
mm,
doctor tries.
mm,
But when they see that it is beyond the scope of cheshta
mm,
and karma is very strong, then
mm,
they will say, okay, beyond our scope, we cannot do it.
mm,
Okay.
mm,
So going to a doctor comes within the realm of cheshta.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
But going to an astrologer or a demigod
Mm.
is you're trying to adjust the karma aspect of it. And
Mm.
because for devotees, it is not, the situations of life are not given by karma, it is given by Krishna. So, what
Mm.
will the demigod do?
Mm.
Unless we are very clearly communicating to Krishna that
Mm.
Krishna, please take your hands off. I am comfortable only with the demigods handling my life.
Mm.
If that is your communication, Krishna will say, fine,
Mm.
go ahead, let them handle your life.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
But if I am handling your life, you
Mm.
go and ask the demigods to adjust, what they will adjust.
Mm.
Okay.
So, mm.
Now, if Krishna is moving your coins,
Mm.
okay, if Krishna is moving your coins,
Mm.
then you can respond to Krishna's move.
Mm.
Okay. That
Mm.
is allowed. That
Mm.
is allowed. You can respond to Krishna's move. That is cheshta. So
Mm.
if Krishna gives you fever,
Mm.
okay, you can go to a doctor to fix it so that you can chant nicely.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
So that comes within the realm of cheshta.
Mm.
But if you go to an astrologer, then you're trying to adjust the karma
Mm.
aspect of it.
Mm.
Okay. So, which means you are accepting that uh, the situations in my life are they are actually uh, orchestrated by karma and not Krishna.
Mm.
So this is a very different mindset.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
So by going to a doctor, we are addressing the cheshta aspect of it, and cheshta is not wrong.
Mm.
And but by going to an astrologer or demigods, we are trying to uh, uh, adjust the karma,
Mm.
which means if you want to go, if you are going to try and adjust the karma, which means you are accepting that it is karma which is presenting the situations in my life and not Krishna.
Mm.
And if you're repeatedly giving this message to Krishna, Krishna will say, if you don't want, I don't want to be an uninvited guest.
Mm.
So you can be comfortable because
Mm.
the demigods are called as karma sachiva. Chayeva karma sachiva sadavo dinavatsala. 10th
Mm.
canto of Bhagavatam says.
Mm.
They are the messengers of karma. They are the dispensers of karma.
Mm.
So if you go to them, Krishna says, fine, go ahead. No problem. Hmm.
Mm.
So this is not the same. Going to a
Mm.
doctor,
Mm. So,
going to a doctor, you are responding to the situation to which Krishna has put you in.
mm.
But by
Yes.
going to a demigod, you're assuming that it is the demigod who has put you in that situation and seeking, praying to him to relieve you of that situation.
Mm.
You see the difference? It's not the same.
Prabhu, that's where I have still not clear on this, Prabhu. Little clear on not little clear
And
on
I
this.
will I will just add one more point to this before
Yes.
you
Yes.
before you continue.
Mm.
And this is one explanation.
Mm.
Okay. Second is directly see the parampara, the
Mm.
acharyas, what they have done. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
As the seek the answer for the same question by
Mm.
looking at the life of the Vartamanacharyas and Purvacharyas.
Mm.
Simple.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Vartamanacharyas and Purvacharyas.
Mm.
See the Vartamanacharyas. When they have a physical problem,
Mm.
do they go to an astrologer or a doctor? You see.
Mm.
So if you don't have trust in the Vartamanacharyas, go
Mm.
to the Purvacharyas.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
You will see that either they have tolerated it
Mm.
or they have taken some medicines, either Ayurvedic or allopathic, but they have taken it. See the
Mm.
life of Srila Prabhupada.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm. Okay, cool. So, Prabhu, just a follow-up thing on this. So, one thing that I am not clear or convinced, right, Prabhu, is like we have three aspects of our presence, right? Adhyatmika, Adibodhika, and Adidaiva.
Mhm.
Now, the Adibodha is the body, and
Mhm.
Adidaiva is the senses that are controlled by demigods.
Yeah.
Right, Prabhu. So, what I'm not able to understand is Why is it radically different, the physical body from the subtle body, that the demigods have no hand or control in terms of administering the universal function, that they have only control as far the subtle body is concerned, they don't have control on the gross body. Uh,
They have control over the gross body also.
that's why, Prabhu. That's why when there are issues with when it comes to an challenge or issue with my gross body,
Hmm.
it seems going to a doctor is radically different from approaching a demigod for a issue with an subtle body. That part I am not able to understand, why one falls under a cheshta and why one falls under karma. That part I am not able to.
No, I don't. I honestly don't understand your question. What is a gross body problem? What is a subtle body problem? Can you please clarify with an
Yes.
example?
Yes, bro. So we talked about an example of an ailment for which, when I go to a doctor, it falls under the domain of cheshta, you are saying.
Yeah.
But when I haven't distress in the mind and there is no issue with the physical body, and
Mm,
if there is an demigod that, like a karmi might pursue a demigod to fix the issue of and distress that I'm going through mentally.
mm, mhm.
And that's what we are saying. As a devotee, we don't go through that path.
Not just that, even for if you have problems with your eyes, you go and worship Surya. If you have problems with
Mm,
your some other part of your body,
mm,
there are particular demigods who are responsible for it. Whether it
yes,
is gross or subtle, doesn't matter. You can still approach the demigod and for help. So
correct,
they control both.
correct,
And
Prabhu.
so it's not just that meant for mental issues. Even for
Mm,
mental issues,
mm,
uh, uh, you don't necessarily have to go to a demigod. You can go to a doctor.
mm. So yes, that's my point, Prabhu. So you are saying, if I have an psychological problem, approaching
Mhm.
a materialistic doctor is different to approaching a demigod, is what you are saying, Prabhu? For a devotee, I'm asking.
Yeah, because by approaching a demigod, what you're trying to accomplish?
Both are an attempt to fix the issue.
Okay, if a demigod can fix the issue,
Mm.
on what basis will the demigod fix the issue?
I don't know, Prabhu. It's a subtle thing, but because he is the controller of it, the demigod.
Nay, first thing, why did you get into that problem?
Mm,
That is my first question. That if we don't answer that foundational question, there
correct,
is no point. It is beating around the bush looking at a
correct, correct,
solution.
correct, Prabhu.
Why
So
did you get
yes,
into that
correct.
problem?
Because Krishna has put me in that this thing.
If Krishna has put you in that situation, what
Mm.
are you trying to accomplish by approaching the demigod for it?
And then how different is that going to a materialistic doctor, Prabhu, in this world?
Ah, so Krishna has put you in the situation,
Mm.
and Krishna wants you to not tolerate it. Krishna wants you to respond to that situation.
Mm.
So the point is, a devotee will respond to that situation
Uh,
in a way that it protects his Krishna conscious convictions.
uh,
Okay.
uh,
So if going to a doctor is challenging your Krishna conscious convictions, then don't go.
mm.
Okay. If
Mm.
if going to a doctor
Mm.
is weakening your sambandha gyan, abhideya gyan, and prayojana gyan,
Mm.
don't go.
Mm. Mm.
Uh,
So
that's
yes,
the point.
Prabhu. So yes,
So,
Prabhu.
but
So
the
that.
point is, but
Mm.
one thing I know for sure is if
Mm.
you go to a demigod, you
Mm.
are automatically accepting
Mm.
that because you understand the basis of which on which the demigods function.
Mm.
That is very important.
Mm.
They function, they give you particular results based on your karma. So
Mm.
by approaching them, you're automatically accepting that my life is orchestrated by karma and not by Krishna. You
Mm.
see, without that, you cannot go. But when I go to a doctor,
Mm.
I don't have to believe that.
Mm.
When I go to a doctor, I understand my
Mm.
life is orchestrated by Krishna.
Mm.
Krishna has put me in this situation
Mm.
with a physical ailment.
Mm.
Now, Krishna wants me to respond in a Krishna conscious way.
Mm.
So the person thinks, okay, if I'm able to tolerate and continue with my Krishna consciousness, let me tolerate.
Mm.
If I am unable to engage in my Krishna consciousness because I am unable to tolerate the physical ailment, fix it and continue in my Krishna consciousness. Okay. So, therefore, now you are approaching the demigod because you see a karmic connection, because they solve the problems by adjusting karma.
Okay.
Whereas a doctor does not do that. A doctor, see, for every problem,
Okay.
how does the astrological chart work?
Okay.
For every problem, what is the connection between Ayurveda and astrology, right? You see, astrology works, Ayurveda and astrology, yes. So Ayurveda, for every problem, it's not that everything is 100% predetermined. The solution is 100% predetermined, whether you will have a solution or not. No, it is not 100% predetermined. Mostly. Some problems are karmically very easy to solve. There is not, it's not a very, it's like picking up a 100 grams mustard seed pouch, little endeavor and it gets, but still you will have to pay that price. Okay. 25 rupees or 30 rupees, whatever is the cost, you will have to pay that price. Okay. Some other problems are like lifting a 500 kilogram object. Okay. So which means one human being like Shivakumar Prabhu cannot definitely lift a 500 kilogram object. Okay. So Ayurveda, it sees whether it is within the realm of Cheshta to address this issue.
Okay.
But when they realize, so which means if it is 50%, if it is 50% Cheshta, 50% karma, then an ordinary Ayurvedic doctor can also resolve the issue because he's skilled enough to do that. But if it is 90% karma and only there is 10% scope of endeavor, then you need an extraordinary doctor to address it. He must be very, very skilled because he has the 10% Cheshta window within which he has to work. Okay. But if he sees that it is 100% karma, 0% scope for Cheshta, no point working on it. Okay. And this karma part is what is being adjusted and wielded by the demigods. So you approach the astrologer and say, look, I will do this parihara, that parihara, and I will kind of postpone my karma or whatever. By that, by doing this yagya, that yagya, kala sarpadosha, and things like that. So you're trying to adjust on that karma level. So basically, you're suffering. If you want to overcome it, there is the realm of karma and there is the realm of cheshta.
Okay.
So the doctor's endeavor, whether the doctor is an Ayurvedic or an allopath or whatever it is, it comes within the realm of cheshta. And the other is karma. So if you approach a demigod, but for a devotee, just that the situation, instead of karma, the situation is presented by Krishna. It may be in response to our offenses or whatever, misuse of our free will, but it is the situation is provided by Krishna. Okay. So which means your approach of demigod becomes a redundant thing. Okay. But cheshta, the scope for cheshta is there. And Krishna wants cheshta. He says, now respond to it. Now respond to it in a Krishna conscious way. Sometimes responding in a Krishna conscious way may be to just tolerate it and continue with our Krishna consciousness, or sometimes response to that Krishna conscious way of responding it to maybe to approach a doctor, get a band-aid to it, and continue. Because the bleeding is taking your consciousness away from Krishna. So get a band-aid, put a band-aid and continue. Okay. So therefore, cheshta is not discouraged in bhakti. Cheshta is not discouraged in bhakti, and cheshta does not necessarily weaken one's faith in bhakti. But the problem is that if you start thinking that my life is still controlled by karma, and you keep trying to adjust the karma here and there, then Krishna says, well, looks like you are too absorbed in karma. It gives you a lot of fun. I will let you have that fun. So I will take my hands off. Of course, Krishna never takes his hands off, because karma is also a system created by Krishna only. He will say, I will take my direct hands off. Because your actions are speaking louder than your words. While you say, Krishna, please protect me. But when you are in problem, rather than coming to me, you are going to a astrologer and a demigod. So your actions are speaking louder than your words. So I will take your communication seriously. That is the point.
Prabhu. Okay. So, Prabhu, just one or two confirmations, Prabhu, just for my clarity. So, from what you are saying, when we approach a demigod, we are essentially entering into the domain of karma, which means it's past, my past actions, right, Prabhu? And how the demigod controls the results of it is what we are entering into it, which means we are kind of crossing our domain of faith in Krishna, that Krishna is not in control, is what it means. It's what I am understanding. So on that, Prabhu, just one confirmation. So when it comes to cheshta, no, are we saying that demigods have no hand in controlling the cheshta of this world?
Yes, but not devotees.
Okay. Okay. Then how is it that, Prabhu, is it not Krishna has given that responsibility to the demigods even to control the cheshtas of this world, functioning of this world?
Yeah, they can. They do control the functionings of this world, except for the devotees.
Okay. So the cheshta of the devotees in this world, as it happens, are directly under the purview of Krishna, you are saying, and demigods have no interference in.
Demigods may interfere, but they are receiving direct orders from Krishna. Okay. They are not independent. Okay. So, see, the demigods are not independent. Either they take instructions from law of karma, or they take instructions from Krishna. Okay. So I'm not telling that the interference of the demigods is not there. So it may be there. Okay. But the point is, where is that higher command coming from? If the higher command is coming from Krishna,
okay.
So you cannot approach karma and pray to karma, because karma is a jadavastu, it's an inanimate thing. Okay. So therefore you pray to the demigods.
Okay.
But when it is not karma who is controlling, if it is Krishna who is controlling, and the demigods may be an intermediate this thing, but you don't have to pray to the demigods. You have to pray to Krishna.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay. So, okay, Prabhu. Just one last question, Prabhu. I'm just connecting this topic to my observations in Mahabharata and Ramayana. So, when Lord Ram worshipped the king of ocean for passage to Lanka, or when Krishna asked Arjuna to go to Lord Shiva or Indra for the divine weapons, as devotees, should we understand these as instructions or
As devotees, we always understand any scripture from the words of the Vaishnava Acharyas. So, so you find out, because I have not read the commentaries of Ramayana or Mahabharata, I cannot comment on that. Okay. And also Mahabharata being a Dharma Shastra, okay. So it has particular instructions for
yes, Prabhu.
the practitioners of karma. So there could be some explanation given by some other Vaishnava Acharyas of some other sampradaya like that. I do not know about that. But
Mm.
Like, for example, I'll just give you a very simple example.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Like um, in in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says that
Mm.
if these if these varnashrama duties are stopped, then there will be a lot of varna sankara and all that. You
Mm.
know, if the shraddha rites will the shraddha rites will be stopped, the shraddha rites has to be performed. If the
Mm.
shraddha rites are not performed,
Mm.
you know, the forefathers will go to hell.
Mm.
Arjuna
Mm.
says this. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
Purport, whether it is Srila Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Baldev Devbhushan, any one of them, they
Mm.
say, oh yeah, this is applicable to those who have karma nishta. This is not
Okay.
applicable to those who have bhakti. For
Mm.
bhakti, the
Mm.
principle is yata taror mula nishechanena. You
Mm.
water the root and the whole tree gets the water.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
Okay. So now
Mm.
you see what is spoken by Arjuna and
Mm.
what is the illumination given by the acharyas.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm. Okay.
And the same is true with you know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going to Gaya to perform Shraddha rites for his father. You
Mm.
know,
Mm.
and Srila, you know, whether it is Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur or Srila Prabhupada, their
Mm.
commentary you see, where they
Mm.
say, oh, this is just to bewilder the smartas.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
it.
Mm.
Okay. So
Mm.
now, so there, the reason why I'm telling this is
Mm.
we cannot understand these things without the illumination of the acharyas.
Mm. Yes, bro.
So you present to me the illumination of the acharyas
Mm.
because you are telling what is seen.
Mm.
I am asking what is to be understood from
Mm.
this.
Yes.
What is to be understood has to be eliminated by the acharyas.
Mm.
So I have not studied the
Mm.
commentaries on Ramayana or Mahabharata.
Mm.
So if there is a Vaishnava commentary,
Mm.
I'm sure there are many Vaishnava commentaries for
Mm.
Ramayana, and these
Mm.
three Vaishnavas might, you know, be able to better answer that question.
Mm.
And about Mahabharata, yeah, there could be some instruction
Mm.
through that for the Karma Yogis,
Mm.
which
Mm.
which is there,
Mm.
and maybe the Madhvaites may have commentary on that.
Mm. Okay, okay, Prabhu. Prabhu, just one last question, Prabhu, if I may ask. I'm not sure if we have discussed this in the past. I think I have, maybe because we have discussed all these things, I just wanted to bring this up also, Prabhu. This discussion all will be in one place. One thing that I'm still not finding it difficult to be convinced, Prabhu, is that I understand in theory that a sadhaka is actually practicing pure devotion even in the stage of anartha nivrti. That I am convinced, Prabhu. That's clear to me. But
Mm,
one thing that I am finding it very difficult to be convinced is a devotee who is in a grahastha asrama versus a devotee who is taken up a brahmachari ashrama.
mhm,
I find it difficult to be convinced that they both are at the same level of surrender and both can be called as pure devotional practice at the same level, that we
mm,
can depend completely on Krishna, bypassing the demigods and all the systems is gap
mm.
that I have to.
Yeah, the very fact that you have this doubt, you must have some scriptural evidences to support it, right? That's why you are getting this doubt.
Mm.
So what is your scriptural evidence for this?
Mm.
Or is it purely based on your pratyaksha based anuman?
Mm. Very good question, Prabhu. I don't recollect anything that I have read like this. Yes, Prabhu, that is true.
So
Mm,
see, I'm asking you a very simple question
mm.
that that the control of this universe through the demigods is also not pratyaksha praman, right?
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry,
The
Prabhu.
control of this universe through karma is also not pratyaksha praman, right?
Mm,
The
yes,
control of
Prabhu.
this universe through Krishna is also not pratyaksha praman, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
All that understanding, the very concept of demigods you got from Shastras,
Mm, mm,
the very concept of karma you got from Shastras,
mm,
the very concept of Krishna that you got from Shastras.
mm.
So if the Shastras themselves say who
Mm,
controls whom,
mm.
why should we bring Pratyaksha Praman here?
Okay.
When the acceptance of karma, demigods, Krishna, everything is Shabda Praman,
Mm.
why we are bringing in Pratyaksha Praman here? Because the demigods are not Pratyaksha Praman, Karma is not Pratyaksha Praman, Krishna is not Pratyaksha Praman. When everything is Shabda Praman, then accept the Shabda completely or reject the Shabda completely. Why half accept and half reject?
Okay.
So this is the point. When people talk about karma, they talk about karma as if karma is Pratyaksha Praman. And Krishna's hands is Shabda Praman. They say, where is the Pratyaksha that Krishna controls? Now, my question is, where is the Pratyaksha that karma controls? This is the point. So when some Shabda Praman is repeated again and again and again and again and again, that Shabda becomes almost, it's accepted as if it is Pratyaksha. As if it is completely Pratyaksha. One accepts it like that. But the reality is, it is still Shabda only. So people talk about law of karma as if law of karma is Pratyaksha Praman. So they will ask personal proof, Pratyaksha proof for Krishna's hands. Now, my question is, you show Pratyaksha proof for karma's hands. Where is it? It is all Shabda. Just that you repeated Shabda 1,000 times and you are making me believe that it is just like telling, Prabhu, there is no signal. There is no signal. Is there a Pratyaksha Praman? They will say, yes, look, there are 0 bars in my phone. No Pratyaksha Praman. This is the Pratyaksha Praman. Oh, is this Pratyaksha Praman for you? Is this Pratyaksha Praman? Someone told that if there is more signal, then it will show it. When there is complete signal, it will show 4 bars. When there is less signal, it will show you either 3 bars or 2 bars. Okay. But when that was repeated again and again and again and again and again, you show, look at the Pratyaksha Praman. There is no signal here. And you will show the phone. And is that Pratyaksha Praman? That is Shabda Praman only. But Shabda Praman, when repeated unlimited number of times, almost gives the appearance of it being as a Shabda Praman. Okay. Now we have heard and discussed about law of karma so many times. So now law of karma has taken the status of being Pratyaksha Praman for us. Okay. Now suddenly when we start hearing about Krishna, we say, no. Where is the proof? Show me the personal proof for this. Now, actually, there is no personal proof for law of karma also. There is no personal proof for demigods also. So everything we accept based on Shabda. Why question only the hands of Krishna? And why we ask for Pratyaksha for that?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. This is very helpful, Prabhu. As always, enlightening and a deep perspective. I definitely have some clarity, Prabhu, from today's discussion. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, some more questions here. Yes, Sachi Pran, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat
Pranam, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in the purport of Srila Prabhupada given in the same chapter, Prabhupada mentioned that as long as one does not develop pure devotional service of Shravanam Kirtanam, one must carry out the prescribed duties. Like Kamya, whatever Kamya, Nitya, Namitika, whatever you want to mention.
Yeah.
So my question is, what Prabhupada has mentioned here is pure devotional service. That means pure devotional faith.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So what happens now when we have a weak faith? Weak means almost nil. Exactly. Like when we defend that we have faith. Basically, the question sometimes comes because we are on marginal side and any side, like you are on the side of truth. When your faith is not there in that truth, na, like very weak faith, there is a chances that you develop a mixed faith also. Like you join other side, and it looks for yourself. You looks like we are not having the pure faith.
Yeah.
So basically, at the stage where Bharat Maharaj was there, it is described in the whole chapter. At the end, he was developing the stage of prema. So now, should we, from the Prabhupada purpose, should we understand that till we have the stage of pure faith, in the process of Shravanam Kirtanam, and the people should carry out that prescribed duties. What do you want to say out of that? You should have
Yeah.
faith.
Yeah, till you have pure faith, you continue.
So the pure faith, there is
But the
no.
moment but oftentimes people say that, oh, I don't have pure faith. My faith is not pure, they will say. If the faith is not pure, then you will not be able to accept the teachings of Srila Prabhupada only. You will not be able to accept the teachings of this thing, of our acharyas. So now, my question is, when people say that, oh, I am not so pure, okay, I am not so pure, so I have to perform karma. My question is, where is this argument coming from? I have a question on that actually, because the last 10 years you never spoke like this. Now suddenly you're speaking like this, or the last 2, 3 years you're speaking like this. Where suddenly this understanding is coming from? I want to understand the source of this understanding. Okay. So is it that in the last 10 years you were a pure devotee and now you have become a mixed devotee and you have so the point is the source is coming from somewhere else, okay, wherever it may be coming from, okay. So that is why again and again we discuss on this point. There is a difference between purity of faith and strength of faith, okay. So someone may have weak but pure faith and they may say that, oh, I'm not pure. I'm not pure means, understand, if you're already thinking you're impure, now my question is, do you want to remain impure or become pure? Okay. So then the question is, if you say you want to become pure, then which means you already have pure faith. Just that the pure faith is weak. Okay. So now my question is, if you want to become pure, why you are contaminating it? If you want to become pure, why you are contaminating it? Don't contaminate it. Okay. No, my bhakti is not strong enough. If your bhakti is not strong enough, then it is all the more reason that you should not contaminate it with karma, jnana, and yoga, because it's already not strong enough. So just strengthen the bhakti to the best extent possible, rather than making the already weak bhakti contaminated. That is my opinion.
Thank you. Puja, another point Prabhupada mentioned in the same chapter, that pure devotee may use karmakandi brahmanas for yajna, but we should not be criticize them. Like sometimes some devotees who are following pure devotional path, having pure faith, may engage some karmakandi brahmana. So Prabhupada is trying to mention here the same aspect, like he says, ultimately the devotee wanted to please the Supreme Lord. So how to understand this? Because here Bharat Maharaj maybe like
Bharat Maharaj's story we have not yet studied.
so now
okay, yeah.
what
Okay,
Prabhupada wants to say?
based on whatever has been discussed till now. Okay. He did
So
engage those brahmanas because he had that responsibility for his citizens, many of whom did not have pure devotional faith. So he had the responsibility for them also. So for that purpose, he engaged those brahmanas in doing
yeah,
that.
but Prabhupada is mentioning that we should not criticize. Like suppose tomorrow we find a very person who is following 35 years, 40 years in the Krishna consciousness, following pure path. We know he has pure faith. All
Mhm.
these, and he suppose he still perform some karma kandi yajna. Prabhupada is saying don't criticize that person. So what you want to say is that devotee who is doing this karma kandi yajna through brahmanas wanted to please the Supreme Lord. So we should not criticize them. Criticize that particular devotee.
No,
Prabhupada
I
is teaching.
understand, but the only question is, as long as he clarifies to me, since when you thought that you have to please the Supreme Lord through this karmakandi yajnas? If he says that no, it is only for loka sangraha purpose,
Uh,
I have absolutely no problem with it. I
that,
never said. But since when you started believing that apart from Shravanam Kirtanam, you had to perform karmakandi yajnas also to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where did that understanding come from?
yeah. So this particular point create a lot of like sometimes when that Surya Grahan, Chandra Grahan, whatever Grahan comes, it spread a lot of messages, and then it's really difficult to, because we are
Yeah,
following
these are
things.
all this is coming from not pure devotional Shastras, but because
Yeah,
they are written in Sanskrit and coming from some Shastras, people think that it is bona fide. People think that
yeah, but
anything which is written in Sanskrit has to be very bona fide, people think. Okay.
yeah,
And devotees should follow. But it is not like
and-
that. Even Charvak Muni spoke his outright atheistic philosophy in Sanskrit.
yeah.
Okay.
So what happened about
So,
such material comes from the, like, suppose it comes from you. I'm just understanding. You send this message about the Surya Grahan, and
mm,
I'm considering you as an authority, suppose.
yeah.
So so people get bewildered now. Why Prabhuji is
Yeah.
sharing this?
Yeah,
So
I
what,
agree.
it should be a responsibility of either ISKCON as an institution or as
Yeah,
a
that is why you see quickly sometimes when such things are spread, when it reaches particular people, then the
yeah,
official ISKCON stance or the Shastric Advisory Council stance, they start circulating that also. Okay, this is what Prabhupada did when he was there. This is what he recommended. So
correct.
this is what we officially do. Okay. Now the other things may come from Vishnu Puran, Padma Puran, Skanda Puran. They may quote, and this is what is to be done. But Prabhupada never quoted it. Prabhupada said
Mm.
this is what is to be followed because not that what is given in Skanda Purana or Padma Purana is wrong, but whether it is applicable for practicing pure devotional service, pure devotees, that needs to be understood.
Mm. Prabhuji, another point is Apurva Shabda is mentioned here. Results awaited, like, like some pious, if you do some pious activity, the pious results are awaited, or some impious results are awaited. Here is the same purport Prabhupada mentioning about Apurva.
Mhm.
So for devotees, there is no results awaited, na? Like, it's results only
Yeah,
for
there
the.
is. Yeah, I mean, first thing, devotees do not engage in those activities unless there is some karma, some uh, Loka Sangraha considerations, they don't engage in those activities. And even if they engage in those activities, because it is only for Loka Sangraha, they don't have any expectation of results, so they won't get any pious results. Because any piety or impiety, you will have to stay in this material world. So they don't expect it and they don't get it also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Keshav Priyamataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, first of all, thank you so much for the clarity you're explaining us, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we said for devotees there is no influence of karma, and he explained that just that owner of karma, whatever devotee is undergoing, is shifted from Maya to Krishna, Prabhuji. But this
Mm,
prarabdha karma, which is expressed to us, Prabhuji, for example, this is our gross body and subtle body, and
mm,
this is designed as per our previous karma, Prabhuji, before coming into Krishna consciousness. Suppose
mm,
I'm taking Krishna consciousness this lifetime, if I take that case, then it
mm,
is coming from previous thing and all that influence. Prabhuji, for example, I may be impulsive, anger, and many of things are there in my manifested body now, Prabhuji.
mm.
And now we say it is not, karma will not affect bhakti, but 2 days back, the same Shilkuma Prabhu discussion, we were discussing about how that faith, trust issues, and all can delay our bhakti. I mean, we may take a long time. Like that, Prabhuji, our nature, our impulsive nature, our those things may affect our bhakti, na Prabhuji. For example, someone is mentally they depressed or disturbed. It may take time for them to do bhakti, na Prabhuji.
Yeah. So
So
I
that
did
karmic
discuss it.
influence.
We have discussed this many times before. I very clearly distinguished between karma vasanas and
Yes,
reactions.
Prabhuji,
These two
but
are different things.
yeah,
So
that,
so in the case of okay, so now before coming to Krishna consciousness, in this body, I was impulsive and I was angry. Now also
mm,
I'm like that. So my prarabdha karma is not gone. No, it is not like that. It's
mm.
just that, I gave the example of someone possessing a car and someone else purchasing that
Yes,
car.
yes,
It is still,
same garage.
it looks the same.
Mm,
So
mm,
the point is that we are talking about two different things. One
mm,
is prarabdha karma means when
mm.
we say prarabdha karma does not talk about our swabhava. Prarabdha karma means what is the
Oh,
reactions that we get. That is prarabdha
oh,
karma. So now the
Reaction
existence.
coming from Swabhava only, na Prabhuji. Because of
No,
Swabhava,
no, no, no,
Swabhava
no,
only
no,
I
no,
react,
no,
no?
no, no, no.
That is
Because of
why, that's why
Swabhava
I'm
we
asking.
act. Because of
Okay.
Swabhava we act.
Okay.
Reaction means for whatever actions we have already performed, the reaction
Oh,
which comes in the form of happiness and distress, that is
oh,
what is called as reaction.
oh,
So the action that you will perform due to your Swabhava, that is action, that is not reaction.
oh,
So even though the word karma may be used, okay, so karma can be used for many, the same word
yeah.
karma is used in many different contexts. It can
Three
refer to
things he
karma
said, Prabhuji, for
vasanas.
action,
Yeah,
reaction,
let
and
me
karma
complete.
vasana.
Yeah, yeah. It can refer to the actions that we perform. It can refer to the cause of that action, which is the karma vasana, and it can refer to the results of that action, which is prarabdha karma and aprarabdha karma. So these three are three different things, even though there may be some connection between them. So the cause of that action, which is the karma vasanas, they don't go away immediately. They will remain. But the reaction part, the reaction part is taken over by Krishna. And he may give a reaction which looks like prarabdha karma.
Oh,
So we will see it in the case of Bharat Maharaj also. There is a description of this very in detail in the next chapter. You know, there is a description of this. So, so he will give a reaction which looks like prarabdha karma, but it is not prarabdha karma. So even though, so this understanding that, oh, you have the same body, you have the same parents, so which means for devotees also prarabdha karma is not destroyed until they give up this body. This is smarta understanding. This is not the understanding of devotees. So that otherwise, then in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu Shila, Rupa Goswami will not explain destruction of prarabdha karma in describing Kleshagni. He would not describe the destruction of prarabdha karma. So he does not say that, oh, your prarabdha karma will get destroyed at the time of death. No, no. Prarabdha karma is destroyed the moment one takes up to bhakti. Prarabdha karma is destroyed. What you may still have the same body, same diseases, same skin color, whatever it may be, but that has been purchased by Krishna. That has been purchased by Krishna. It is no longer. It is no longer. Under the control of karma.
okay, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, even the problem some people may face, because as I said, na Prabhuji, I am seeing devotees like that. That's why I'm asking you this question. They want to do bhakti, they want to do, but their mind is influencing them a lot, Prabhuji. They're taking tablets, they're in depression. So all those things are not vanished, Prabhuji. So how to understand
That
that,
is not
Prabhuji?
reaction. That is particular anarthas. So that is the three modes which influence their swabhava. So their swabhava has been influenced in a particular way. Sometimes, see, sometimes it is affected in a very deep way. Sometimes it is affected in a very not so deep way. So, but the anarthas are there. So sometimes if you have simple anarthas, you just say, oh, it is just anarthas. But when the anartha is very deep, then it's a problem. So, and anartha nivritti is slow only. So it will take some
Patience.
time. Yeah.
Only tolerance. And Prabhuji, while explaining this Chesha and demigod worship, you are telling maybe Krishna wants you to respond. That is why you approach Doctor Prabhuji. So why is that if Krishna wants to respond and approaching a demigod, why it is not under Krishna's response, Prabhuji?
We
Because the
just discussed
demigod is
it.
yes, Prabhuji. No, what I am telling is doctor is treating the ailment, Prabhuji, and the disease is
Doctor
maybe.
is used through his chesta is treating the ailment. The demigod through the agency of karma is only treating the ailment.
So they
So
don't
if
have a
you,
power to remove that. That's what you're telling, Prabhuji.
the power comes through karma. They will
Oh,
adjust
they
your
don't.
karma a little bit here and there.
That
That's
this
all.
point only, Prabhuji. I understood that, but why is that doctor can do, but why a demigod cannot do that? Single part only he cannot do. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Radhika Rati Mataji. We have 3 minutes, Mataji. If you can finish your question in 1 minute, then we can discuss 2 minutes and then we can pause. Okay, you have not unmuted. Yes, Champaklata Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, my question is regarding the role of astrologer in devotees' life. Like I've observed some devotees going to the astrologer for understanding whether their child should pursue some course or some profession, or even the sannyasis, some when they start some projects, I heard that they have approached an astrologer or what is there in the chart, and also for child's marriage, one son's daughter's marriage, whether their astrological charts are matching. Now, like when you are explaining to Shiv Kumar Prabhu about this, going to the doctor and to the astrologer, and that aspect I understood, but what is the other role of astrologer? Like, is there a role, or we don't have to at all approach a astrologer?
Sometimes that which, see, a chart can suggest your nature also. It can, it can suggest your nature. It can suggest your destiny. Okay. The destiny is based on karma, and nature is based on the swabhava that you have assimilated over many lifetimes of your stay in this material world. So, so certain things like marriage and other such things where, you know, the swabhava can be matched between the girl and the boy. That's fine, you know, because that is not necessarily based on karma. It is based on the acquired nature of those personalities over a long period of time. So for that, it is okay. Uh, so for such purposes, it is fine. The point is, um, it has because people the whole concept is because people want everything to be under control. They want to control everything. Okay, everything should be under control. If everything is under control, then I can do things nicely. So once they start going to the astrologer and he starts predicting something, then they would want everything predicted. Okay, then they would want everything predicted. So that way, the dependence on Krishna will go down. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Okay. So for the marriage, it is fine. But like I know some people going for also if their child is can pursue this course of education or that, is that what
Yeah,
about that?
maybe that also depends on the nature of the child and the nature of that course. Maybe for that purpose, whether the child has a nature to pursue this profession. Okay, that also probably mostly in terms of swabhava. Probably that's what I think.
Oh, okay. So even if we don't approach astrologer for these aspects, is that okay, or like?
In my 45 years, I've never approached, and as of now, I don't have any problem.
Okay. Okay, Raj. I mean, sometimes people suggested me that, even into admit into gurukuls, like some gurukuls run by the devotees, they see the chart of the child and then they give admission. So,
I don't know.
uh, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Okay, I think we should pause here. Thank you all very much for your patient listening and your enthusiastic participation. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.